driven tonight by Joshua Black, is the 9 car. 8 cars, 8 laps the distance. Manderland Building Supplies, late models. Once again, our heats are brought to you by Deerhaven Power Sports. It's been a couple weeks since these guys have been in the seat, and they're just getting itching to go here as they pack them in nice and tight, heading down the back straightaway. It's green and go. Ryan McDonald, the 151, the 7 of A.J. Rinaldi, the 21 of Rich Sanders, Charlie Sandercock in the 57, the 05 of James Seymour. Sanders battling the inside of A.J. Rinaldi, throws it high, and Rinaldi gets tangled up with the 46 of Mowat, collects the 9 of Joshua Black in there as well. The 7 car get in that loose stuff up top, and he just could not hold on to it. Looking like minimal damage done. All drivers able to pull away under their own power. As the race director next door gets them reseated for this restart. Lineups are good. It's time to double them up. McDonald in the 151, going to have the choice inside or outside. He chooses the inside groove as the restart. Outside the 21 of Rich Sanders. Row number 2, the 57 of Charlie Sandercock. Outside Sandercock will be the 05 of James Seymour. Brandon Mode in the 46 and 9 of Joshua Black will occupy row number 3. David Barrett and A.J. Rinaldi will occupy row number 4. McDonald will be the first to fire as they go between the orange cones in 3 and 4. He'll bring this field back to life. It's green and go. Brian McDonald in the 151, but there's Charlie Sandercock looking right down on the inside. A.J. Rinaldi puts the 7 car sideways in 1 and 2, and that's going to draw out another caution here. She throws that car back around facing the right way. The 05 of James Seymour takes this opportunity to take the 05 into the pit area. McDonald in the 151, Sandercock in the 57. It will be the same lineup as the last restart, as we did not get a lap in. So that's going to put Rich Sanders outside row number 1.
One more trip around for the late models. Hey, race fans, if you'd like to see these late models in your rear view, you have the opportunity here tonight to get in the Campbellford Chrysler Pace Truck for a ride. Head over to the souvenir booth. We've got 4 spots that we're giving away. Get a ballot and get in that Campbellford Chrysler Pace Truck tonight for feature races. You can see them from the rear view. Get started here.
Race director is talking to them, getting them to pack it up nice and tight. The green flag is in the starter's hand, and it's green and go. Brian McDonald in the 151, Charlie Sandercock in the 57, Brandon Mowat in the 46, Sanders in the 21, and Joshua Black in the 9. McDonald, Sandercock, Mowat, Sanders, Black, Rinaldi, and Barrett. Halfway flags are in the air, 4 up, 4 down. Brian McDonald, Charlie Sandercock, Brandon Mowat. Joshua Black going to look to the inside of Rich Sanders as they go down through the front straightaway. Sanders overtakes the 4th spot. Charlie Sandercock going to look to the inside of Brian McDonald as they go through 1 and 2, but McDonald's going to throw it back out front. It's the 151 of McDonald, the 57 of Charlie Sandercock as they go side by side now. They ran out of real estate there. Sandercock clips that barrier tire. White flag is out, one more trip around. Brian McDonald, the 151. Charlie Sandercock in the 57. Brandon Mowat in the 46. Black in the 9. And Rich Sanders in the 21. Rinaldi and Barrett rounding out the field. Coming down the front chute, picking up the first qualifying win tonight is the 151 of Brian McDonald. The 57 of Charlie Sandercock, the 46 of Brandon Mowat, 9 of Joshua Black, and the 21 of Rich Sanders. Nathan Rinaldi. Row number 2, the 5 of Steve Baldwin. Outside Baldwin, the 41 of Ryan Lambert. Row number 3, the 11 of Kyle Sopaz. Outside Sopaz, the 77 of Kaylee Weiss. And bringing up the rear of the field, the 4 car of Anthony Barrett. 7 cars, 8 laps of distance. Vanderland Building Supply late models. Qualifier number 2. David Vandertoorn loses it on the lead by himself. That's going to draw a caution right away. He was able to throw it back around and put it back on the racetrack, but cautions were already flying. Looks like a very hard surface right now in the corners. You can almost see it starting to go black already. As the race director works with them next door to put the lineup back in place. Nathan Rinaldi, the race leader. 5 of Steve Baldwin is second. Ryan Lambert, Kyle Sopaz, row number 2. Kaylee Weiss, David Vandertoorn, row number 3. Anthony Barrett on the 4th row.
Yeah, 2 top guns leading us back to green here. Rinaldi leading the Northeast Late Model Alliance, sitting second in the regular standings here at Brighton Speedway to Steve Baldwin. Just a 20-point gap between the two.
Baldwin going to look to the inside of Ryan Lambert as they go through turn 2. Lambert going to hold on to second place, but Nathan Rinaldi in the 3. The 41 of Ryan Lambert, the 5 of Steve Baldwin, Kaylee Weiss in the 77. Kyle Sopaz in the 11, Anthony Barrett in the 4, and the 33 of David Vandertoorn. Rinaldi, Lambert, Baldwin, Weiss, Sopaz, Barrett, and Vandertoorn. Nathan Rinaldi in the 3, the 41 of Ryan Lambert, bringing the field to halfway. 5 of Steve Baldwin, Kaylee Weiss in the 77, the 11 of Kyle Sopaz, Anthony Barrett in the 4, the 33 of David Vandertorn. Nathan Rinaldi in the 3, the 41 of Ryan Lambert, the 5 of Steve Baldwin. Kaylee Weiss in the 77, the 11 of Kyle Sopaz. Top 5 are all bunched tightly together here. So play follow the leader right now to see who makes the first mistake, and somebody's going to jump through. Through 3 and 4, the white flag is out. One more trip around for Rinaldi in the 3 car. Baldwin is looking to the inside of the 5. Ryan Lambert throws it high into turns 1 and 2, and that's going to let Kaylee Weiss slide underneath them. Here comes the battle through 3 and 4 down the front chute. Nathan Rinaldi picking up the qualifying win. Steve Baldwin is in second. Kaylee Weiss third. Ryan Lambert in the 41 takes home fourth, and the 11 of
David Vandertorn in the 13 starting position, and at Brighton in the 7, AJ Rinaldi, and to his outside at a Colburn in the 97 is Dave Barrett. Bringing up the back of the field, last but definitely not least, at a Trenton in the Bartak Plumbing number 4, Anthony Barrett. There you have it. 15 late models, 30 laps the distance. They're roaring and ready to go.
Black and McDonald gonna bring the field to life. It's green and go. Joshua Black right on the gas pedal. He's going to take the early lead. Brian McDonald in the 151 is going to look to shoot to the outside as they head through 3 and 4. Here comes Charlie Sandercock in the 57 machine. Side by side at the line. Brian McDonald overtakes the 9 car in the 151 up the back straightaway to take over the lead. It's McDonald, Black, Sandercock, Lambert, Rinaldi, and Mowat. McDonald, Sandercock now going to look to the outside of Joshua Black to take over second spot. Looks like they're finding a little bit of bite up there on that higher groove where they put some water down and pushed it in. Brian McDonald in the 151. Sandercock in the 57, the 9 of Joshua Black, the 3 of Nathan Rinaldi, and the 41 of Ryan Lambert, top 5 here at our Vanderland Building Product Late Model Division feature race this evening. Caution is on the racetrack. Looks like the 7 of Anthony Rinaldi facing the wrong way in 1 and 2. That's going to draw out a caution here. Brian McDonald in the 151, the 57 of Charlie Sandercock. McDonald is going to choose the high groove as the starter. He's going to choose the outside lane this time, see if he can get a little bit of bite. Having Charlie Sandercock line up beside you is not usually good news. But now he's going to... pulled ahead of Charlie again, so maybe he's decided not to take that high groove. We'll see when they come to the line. But leader of the race gets to choose the groove they want to restart in, whether it's high or low. They get to start the race when they hit the orange cones in 3 and 4. McDonald in the 150, 157 of Sandercock, the 9 of Joshua Black, Nathan Rinaldi in the 3, the 41 of Ryan Lambert, the 46 of Brandon Mowat, Kaylee Weiss in the 77, Steve Baldwin in the 5, the 11 of Kyle Sopaz, 21 of Rich Sanders, the 505 of James Seymour, 33 of David Vandertorn, the 97 of David Barrett, and the 4 of Anthony Barrett. Not looking good news here for Anthony Rinaldi. It looks like they're going to back a truck in front of him, put him on the hook.
Yeah, you never like to see an end to your night at all, let alone that early. It looks like it may be something that they might not be able to fix so quick. I don't know. He's got a great pit crew, so
they work very, very hard on those cars. And, you know, I honestly believe that Anthony is not very far away from getting that car to click for them. He is, it's his second year in the late model division, and, you know, he jumped the late model last year out of the mini stock division. So it's a huge jump for him. And honestly, he's done leaps and bounds. And just talking with the other drivers, he was talking with Charlie Sandercock there at Fan Appreciation, and Charlie's feeding him all the knowledge that he can, and trying to get him to help that he needs to get that car to hook up. So that's great on that behalf. And as I said, I don't think he's that far away from getting that car to hook up for him.
Oh no, and he's just sitting outside the top 10 in points in 11, and like you said, he's got a lot of great people around him, and it's only a matter of time before we see him up in the front running with the big guns. You know, his brother was absolutely no different. Everybody's got to learn. You got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
So it's, you know, it is what it is.
Just week by week, progress slowly, and, you know, you finish in the back quarter of the race next week, try to get to the 3/4 mark, and just work your way up and build that confidence. And I think that's all he needs, is a little bit more confidence. And he's got the car, he's got the knowledge, and, you know, he's got his big brother that certainly was in the same seat, and now look where Nathan
Seymour just outside in 6th, followed by his wife, Kaylee Weiss. Brian McDonald, your leader, sitting in 8th. David Vandertorn, 9th, and Rich Sanders rounding out the top 10 so far this season, but still lots of racing, of course, on the season. Anything can happen. We've seen it, Tim.
Lots of racing to go. And if I'm not mistaken, it's next week they run a double feature here.
Yes, they do. You've got 360 sprints on tap and 2 late model features. They're picking up the replay from the night we were rained out on May 11th.
So that will be a huge night for late model drivers.
I mean, I love when we get 1 feature, but let alone 2. That's a treat.
So Brian McDonald will choose the inside groove for this restart, putting Charlie Sandercock to the outside of him. Black and Rinaldi on row 2. Lambert and Mowat on row 3. Weiss and Baldwin, row 4, Sopaz and Sanders, row 5, Vandertorn and Seymour, row 6, Barrett and Barrett on row 7, They've taken the 7 car of Anthony Rinaldi into the pit area. White flag has been displayed as they bunch it tight going up the back straightaway. The starter has the green flag in his hand. Brian McDonald in the 151 will get to fire first and get this field going. As soon as he jumps on it in the cones, there he goes. It's green and go.
Oh, it looks like Charlie found an opening. McDonald gave it to him. They're wheel to wheel coming through 3 and 4. Your leaders door to door, but it is Charlie Sandercock, now your leader, as James Seymour comes to rest off 1 and 2, and the caution flag flies.
So 57 of Charlie Sandercock, our new race leader, out front there. The 151 of Brian McDonald is in second. The 3 of Nathan Rinaldi in third. The 41 of Ryan Lambert in fourth. And the 9 of Joshua Black in the 5th spot.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You give Charlie Sandercock just a bit of room, an opening, and he will fly right through, and he certainly did.
So Charlie, the race leader, has chosen to take the outside groove on this restart. He will be the one to fire first when it gets to the orange cones in 3 and 4. Bring this field to life. Sandercock, McDonald, row 1. Lambert and Rinaldi, row 2.
Yeah, I had the chance to talk to Charlie during fan appreciation. He's definitely hungry for his first win on the season. Finished 3rd when we were here on the 18th. So let's see. Lots of laps left, and we're green, green, green.
Ryan Lambert makes a run on the outside. He's going to take over. Another caution on the racetrack. Not a good restart, so they've reset the field. Here we go one more time. The green flag is in the air again. It's green and go. David Vandertoorn, Anthony Barrett go wheel to wheel here on the front straightaway. And speaking of wheels, one of the big white barrier wheels gets put down onto the infield. And that's going to draw out another caution here. Good news for the Rinaldi field over there. They got the 7 car put back together, whichever the problem was, and he's back on the racetrack now.
Oh, it's a topless race.
Track safety crew putting the white barrier tire back into place. The other one helping Anthony Barrett in the 4 car get back onto the racing surface here. McDonald, Sandercock, row 1. Rinaldi, Lambert, row 2. Black and Wheats, row 3. Baldwin, Mowat, row 4. Sanders, Sopaz, row 5. Vandertorn, Barrett, row 6. Seymour and Rinaldi, row 7. And on the final row, the 4 car of Anthony Barrett. Green flag goes in the air one more time. Let's get the Vanderland Building Product late model division here going again. Much better restart. McDonald and Sandercock battle through 1 and 2. Charlie Sandercock going to come out of the back straightaway as your race leader. Nathan Rinaldi moving up in the 3rd spot. Charlie Sandercock now going to start to separate himself a bit from the back of the front of the pack. It's Sandercock, McDonald, Rinaldi, Lambert, Weiss, Black, Baldwin, Mowat, Sopaz, Sanders, Vandertorn, Seymour, Barrett, and Rinaldi. Caution on the racetrack one more time. I believe we have a car shot over the end down there. 41, Orion Lambert went off the edge of turn 2 there. You can see him coming back up by the bridge over in corner 2. Charlie Sandercock in the 57, the 151 of Brian McDonald, 3 of Nathan Rinaldi, the 77 of Kaylee Weiss, the 5 of Steve Baldwin, 9 of Joshua Black, the 11 of Kyle Sopaz, Brandon Moden, the 46, the 21 of Rich Sanders, 33 of David Vandertorn, the 05 of James Seymour, 41 of Ryan Lambert, the 97 of David Barrett, the 7 of AJ Rinaldi, and the 4 of Anthony Barrett.
Go ahead.
Any early wagers, Tim?
The car that finishes first will win.
Oh, well, that's a safe bet.
Charlie Sandercock is biting tooth and nail to pick up his first win here of the season, so he's got to be almost one of the favorites. But you got Brian McDonald, who has won as well here. Nathan Rinaldi sitting in the 3rd spot. Right behind him is Steve Baldwin, and then you've got Sopaz and Mowat on the 4th row right behind them. It's still too early to tell, I think, because there's 22 laps left here in the 30-lap feature.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. This is the first time I can remember in a long time or ever that I've seen Charlie out of the top 1 or 2 spots. So I know it's early, but here we go.
Charlie grabbing it up top there where that sticky stuff is. He's finding bite. It's the 57 of Charlie Sandercock, the 151 of Brian McDonald, Kaylee Weiss of the 77 and the 3 at Nathan Rinaldi. They're going to go 3 abreast as they come down through the corner. Nathan Rinaldi's going to put a move to the outside. He's going to see if he can shoot past McDonald. He will. Now he's got his eyes set on that 57 car in front of him. It's the 57 of Charlie Sandercock, the 3 of Nathan Rinaldi. Here comes Steve Baldwin making a move to the outside as well. Sandercock, Rinaldi. Here comes Baldwin in the 5, the 151 of McDonald, and the 77 of Kaylee Weiss. Rounding up the top 5. Charlie started to open up a gap now between him and the second place car. Sandercock in the 57, the 3 of Nathan Rinaldi, 5 of Steve Baldwin, the 151 of Brian McDonald, 77 of Kaylee Weiss. As he comes through 3 and 4, halfway flags are up. 15 up, 15 down for Charlie Sandercock, Nathan Rinaldi, Steve Baldwin, Brian McDonald, Kaylee Weiss, Joshua Black, Kyle Sopaz, Brandon Moa, David Vandertorn, James Seymour. Now he's started to put some laps on the Charlie Sandercock in the 57. Several car lengths back down. The 3 of Rinaldi, the 5 of Baldwin, the 151 of McDonald, and the 77 of Kaylee Weiss.
Oh, this is great. Charlie playing Catch Me If You Can to Nate Rinaldi, because that was reverse what happened here opening night. So Charlie's definitely found his groove. He's hooked up here tonight with about a half a track lead ahead of the 3 of Nathan Rinaldi, followed by Steve Baldwin, the 77 of Kaylee Weiss, and the 151 of Brian McDonald.
Charlie Sandercock, Nathan Rinaldi, Steve Baldwin, Kaylee Weiss, and Brian McDonald, top 5. Joshua Black, Brandon Moick, Kyle Sopaz, and James Seymour rounding out the top 10. As he goes through 3 and 4 down the front straightaway. 7 more laps to go for Charlie Sandercock in the 57. Nathan Rinaldi in the 3, the 5 of Steve Baldwin. 77 of Kaylee Weiss and the 151 of Brian McDonald. Six to go now for Charlie Sandercock. He just keeps churning the laps and putting more cars down. Sandercock, Rinaldi, Baldwin, Kaylee Weiss, and Brian McDonald. Three more laps to go for Charlie Sandercock in the 57. Back to the 3 of Nathan Rinaldi, the 5 of Steve Baldwin, the 77 of Kaylee Weiss, and the 151 of Brian McDonald. 2 to go for Charlie Sandercock, Nate Rinaldi, Steve Baldwin, Kaylee Weiss, Brian McDonald. Through 3 and 4, picking up the white flag. 1 more lap to go for 57 at Charlie Sandercock. Steve Baldwin slides by Nate Rinaldi to take over second spot. Charlie Sandercock picking up the win. Steve Baldwin second. Nate Rinaldi third, the 77 of Kaylee Weiss, and the 151 of Brian McDonald, rounding out the top 5.